What's up, and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. This is Season 5, Episode 11, and the title of this episode is Public Displays of Contention. Let's start off with Angela and Michael. So Michael tells his aunt that he will be able to handle Angela. Okay, now, Michael, keep dreaming, buddy, because there's no way that you will ever be able to handle Angela. Now, after he talks with his aunt, he heads back to the apartment and says that he feels like he will have to end up choosing between his family and Angela. He adds that he never expected this kind of issue at the moment with Angela. Now, for as long as he's been with Angela, he should expect some type of issues with her. He should always be on his toes. He should always be on guard because Angela doesn't operate or function in peace. She feeds off of confusion, starting unnecessary fights or arguments with Michael, period. You know, he wants both sides to be happy, and he ought to know that that won't happen. It's either make Angela happy or nothing at all, because Angela only cares about having control over Michael. He should really care about his own happiness, but he's putting his happiness at the back burner for this green card. So moving on, once he steps foot in the door, Angela is ready to fuss, cuss, and scream. It's obvious that Angela is possessed or something dark has taken over her. You know, she has also been drinking, so that never is good when trying to hash out an already tense situation. And her eyes are just dark, and she's being very vile and disrespectful to Michael, which this is not the first time. You know, she's yelling, and Michael's trying to talk, and Hood Rat Angie says to him that she wants a new man. So Michael is begging her to stay, and I'm like, why is this man begging and telling her that he's sorry and he's done nothing wrong? He tells the camera crew that he thinks that it's just a big misunderstanding. Angela thought that she was on the Maury show on this episode, her telling him that her being loud is a part of her culture. She's a dang lie. Not everyone in America conducts themselves like that, and being loud is not a culture, first of all. So Michael looks so broken, and everything out her mouth was vile and disrespectful. But again, are we really surprised at her actions? I know I'm not. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So the rest of Elizabeth's family is arriving in Moldova, and Andrei still has this rude air about him and says something along the lines of, if her family is going to give him a hard time, he's just going to leave. Now, how about the dry hug that Andrei gave Elizabeth's mom when she went to embrace him? What is this dude's problem? I just don't get it. So Elizabeth's mom and husband, plus Libby's sister, will be joining the rest of their family at the Airbnb. And Elizabeth informs them at the airport that Andrei's family has prepared dinner there at the Airbnb as well to welcome them. Jen is already negative, and I really think that she needs to stop. She's not there on a vacation, okay? She's not there for a vacation or a vacation that she's picked for herself, her kids, and her husband. She is there to witness her sister get married, meaning the trip isn't about her. Now, on the way to the Airbnb, Jen is speaking very negative about his country, and Andrei says that Jen better not be rude to his family because he won't put up with it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, even if she is rude, what you gonna do about it? You won't put up with it, okay, what you gonna do about it? He just talks too much sometimes, and Jen talks too much too. So they both were irritating me in this scene. Now, why does Chuck, once they get to the Airbnb, why does Chuck always have this stank face? In this scene, he had a stank face. And this is something I noticed when they arrived, the look on his face while he was watching his family greet Andrei's family. I think that Andrei's family are very sweet people. They're very sweet people. What happened to Andrei? Because he is the total opposite, a rotten apple in the bunch, I guess. So during this family gathering, I was like, wow, we really saw a different Andrei for like 2.5 seconds. It was refreshing, really. You know, he should really try to be a nice person from now on and not just when he wants a check. I was also thinking like he should be an actor. Like Elizabeth is an actress, so he should be an actor because he really played nice and put on that fake smile for about 2.5 seconds. So comment down below your thoughts on that scene, and let's move on to Colt, Debbie, and Jess. So Colt is sitting around playing with the cats, and then Karma smacks him in the face, literally. He also is playing with this droid. I think it was a droid, and it literally hits him in his face. It was so hilarious to me. I just didn't understand why the heck he was playing with that inside the house anyways. He's such a dumbo because I think you're supposed to play with those outside. So once he puts it down, he then decides to video call Jess. Colt is still unclear where he and Jess stand, but he invites her to fly out to Vegas. Colt tells Jess that his mom may have the wrong impression of her, but he's hoping that that will change when she comes to visit. So Jess tells Colt that his mother isn't her problem and that she still doesn't trust him because he always lies. Now, Colt hasn't been 100% honest with Jess and has more to reveal. He claims when they were on a break that he was talking to other girls because he was lonely. He plans to tell her this when she comes to visit him. And if they broke up, then how is it wrong that he talked to another woman? I believe that he was talking to other women while they were talking. That's the only way that it would make it wrong. If you two have broke up and then you decide to kind of entertain somebody else, you're not with that person anymore, so you're free to do whatever you want. But the only way it makes it wrong is if you are still talking to that person. So I don't know. I just believe that he lies a lot. So it could have been really that while they were still talking and maybe they had an argument but didn't officially break up, he was then entertaining other women, or things could have been going great and he was still entertaining other women. I just wouldn't put anything past Colt. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Tonya and Sinjin. So Sinjin and his family will be coming together for a family dinner. He's really looking forward to it. And at this dinner, things start off pleasant and then get heated real quick. I mean, like real quick. When Tonya brings up the fact that she didn't want to raise her kids in South Africa due to racism and poverty, I think that Sinjin, and by the look on his mom's face, I think that they took offense to her saying that. Shoot, I think that they were all offended. So as Tanya's talking about the kids subject, Sinjin jumps in and says, have kids? Who said that that's ever going to happen? Y'all, my mouth dropped. Tonya in that moment felt so dumb. I know for a fact she felt dumb. I think Sinjin was very clear about who he was. Tonya liked him so much and was in the moment when they met. So she thought that she could change him, or that he would change after they got married. But if you're getting to know someone and having those important conversations about what you want in life and together as a couple, then it will save you from being in the situation that she's in right now. You can't force anyone to want what you want, no matter how much you like or love a person. Sinjin just doesn't come off to me as a type to sell a woman a fantasy. I just don't see that about him. I think he's very much so like, take it or leave it. Like he's a take it or leave it kind of guy. I don't know what keeps these two holding on to one another because they both aren't happy together. I don't think that they will be happy as individuals until they break free from one another. The crazy thing is that not too long ago, he did a live and addressed Tonya as his wife at the time, okay? So I don't know if they are still together, but Tonya has still been carrying on as though they are. And I know probably due to them being under contract, most likely she probably does have to, play it that way. So back to the scene, Tonya wants Sinjin to step it up and work towards a career. She wants him to try something because he has all these different things that he says he wants to do. And you remember when he first came to America and he's like, I want to be a firefighter, an opera singer. Like, he was naming off a whole bunch of stuff. And so she's just like, okay, well, pick something and try it. But the fact that he's not even making an effort to do anything, that is what's frustrating to her. She just wants to see him work towards something. Now, his parents are trying to give advice, and Tonya is loud. She's talking over them and crying. Once Tonya gets up and leaves the dinner table, Sinjin says that he doesn't want the marriage life if it's going to continue the way that it has been. Comment down below your thoughts on that scene, and let's move on to Kalani and Oswellu. So Kalani, she wants to meet with Asuelu's mom and sister Tammy to talk some sense into them, or should I say, try to talk some sense into them. Kalani came ready though, okay? Just in case something popped off, she had her hair tied up in a high bun. The way she starts off the conversation, she says, I don't understand why you guys think you're entitled to me and my family's money. And however you feel that way. But at the end of the day, it is going to be what I say. So then I started to really think, right? And I'm like, I believe that the editors probably made it that was the first thing that came out of her mouth. They made it to seem like that was the first thing she says, but maybe it really wasn't. People don't just go off like that initially. When you're going in to have a conversation with somebody, most of the time you're going in to try to bring some resolve. She said she was going in to talk some sense into them, right? So to me, there had to be a buildup for her to get to that point. So that's why I'm saying I feel like the editors took that part, made that the first initial thing of her like popping off like that. But I don't believe that was the first thing that came out of her mouth. I believe that they were already saying some stuff because Tammy was saying some slick stuff out her mouth. So I believe they were already doing all of that. And then that was the reaction that they got out of Kalani after that. So that's just my observation. I don't know. Comment down below your thoughts and let me know what you think on that. Asuelu's sister, Tammy, tells Kalani that she should get a job so that they can help support their family back home, calling her lazy. They are accusing her of getting pregnant on purpose. So how about when his mother said that she's sorry, but she doesn't care about her grandkids. She just wants to take her son so that he can do his duty as before. Let me tell you, she would never, ever be around or see my kids ever again. I don't care if she later then came back around and apologized. They really crossed the line. This family is sick. And she wants to be taken care of, but failed Asuelu as a parent because she didn't properly teach or educate her child like a mother should. He knows nothing but how to be an island boy, dancing around and throwing tantrums when he doesn't get his way. Kalani is literally raising 3 boys, Oliver, Kennedy, and Asuelu. This scene and the insults coming from Tammy, she told Kalani that she should get a divorce and separate from Asuelu, which, I mean, hey, that right there probably isn't bad because I think we would all agree that Kalani needs to part from Asuelu. And Tammy then proceeds to pretend as though she was going to put hands on Kalani when she walked away. This really couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me because I'm sorry, I would have knocked her smooth out. I would have told her, I wish you would. I wish you would put your hands on me. So the reason I say that she was pretending, Tammy was pretending that she was about it and that she was going to do something because Asuelu's mother is not that strong. And you have Asuelu's mother trying to hold her back, saying, no, Tammy, don't, right? And she's trying to hold her back. And if she really wanted to get to Kalani, she could have. She could have broke from her mom, but she knows better. I really think that Kalani has some good moments with telling them off, but I think that she could have shut them down, Angela, aka Angie style, for real, for real. Comment down below your thoughts and let's move on to Larissa. So Larissa and Eric, they go to look at decor for the house, and she wants to feel more at home at his place. Eric says shopping at this decor store is making him uncomfortable. He is aware that Larissa has very expensive taste. And Larissa is saying that Eric has got it. Like, he's got money, and she wants him to prove that he's not cheap. She even throws in that she wants a boob job and a nose job. Larissa thinks that she is slick, talking about when Eric talked about her bad to another woman, it made her insecure. Now, Larissa wants to borrow $30,000 from Eric, and Eric is smart to actually get a contract or suggest a contract being made up with interest from Larissa. But that doesn't mean that he will actually get the money back. Like, that doesn't mean she's actually going to pay that money back. They are boyfriend and girlfriend, though, so I think that interest should only kick in if they happen to break up. So he should put that in the contract. You know, you have to make these payments, but if something happens to where we don't work out, that's when interest will then kick in. Because they're boyfriend and girlfriend, so it's like, I don't know. But Larissa could just be using him just to get what she wants out of him. I'm not sure what that girl's intentions are, but getting a boob job and a nose job should be the last thing she should be thinking about. She needs to be thinking about making sure she can stay in America, you know, getting her work permit and being able to then send for her kids so she can be a mother to her children. It's just ridiculous. You over here getting boob jobs in America and doing all this stuff, but what about your kids, though? That's terrible. That is so terrible. Let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. So the more I see scenes with Elizabeth's family, the more I don't care for them that much. They complain about everything. They are rude. And when Chuck said that the food there was peasant food, I was so disgusted. Jen was saying that they're eating scraps, and it just shows to me how they're looking down on his family, and I don't like it. In this scene, Chuck and Charlie snitch on what happened prior to Jen and her mother's arrival. And Charlie claims that they feel bad for telling his mom and sister about what happened, but no, they don't. No, they don't. They couldn't wait to snitch off and tell what happened. They all plan to get Andrei drunk to find out why Andrei moved to Ireland. They are still pressing that situation, and I'm so over them. These two both have mug shots floating around the web. Charlie and Chuck both have mug shots floating around. So I don't know why they're so bothered about Andrei's past. I mean, what are they trying to do? Compare who has the worst rap sheet? Like, what the heck is happening here? Because why are they so consumed by that? Or this just could be, since they all are actors and liars and con artists, maybe this is just a part of their storyline. It's just keep pressing to make good TV so they'll have a storyline for Elizabeth and Andrei this season. I don't know what the heck is going on, but it's ridiculous. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Angela and Michael. Y'all, poor Michael in this scene. Oh my goodness. He looks pathetic as ever. Angela locked him out the bedroom, so he ended up having to sleep in the living room. And Angela comes out the room the next morning for her morning breakfast, which is a doggone cigarette and Pepsi. So she's not done with tearing this man down, telling him that she doesn't care that his back and legs are hurting. Angela always says that she's done with Michael. She's full of it. The fact that she says that she doesn't need a man, but is in Nigeria planning to marry him when she should be home with her mother, who isn't doing well right now. Why go all the way to Nigeria multiple times if you don't need a man? I think that Michael is the only man that wants her, because no one else would or does. Any other man would have been gone before she could even blink her eyes. Angela wants to talk to Michael's mother so that she can either talk some sense into Michael. This is what she's saying. I need to talk to his mother so she can either put some sense into Michael or put some sense into me so that I can leave Nigeria. Comment down below your thoughts. Let's move on to Tonya and Sinjin. So Sinjin says they both want to be heard without feeling belittled, but they clearly were missing the mark with each other in this scene. So Tonya gets her food and goes to the room. after the big old blow up in front of the family. And Tonya wants stability with Sinjin and feels like he makes everyone think that she's rushing him, pushing him, or just too controlling. It's obvious and even tiring to keep saying, but, I'm just going to say it again. I think that these two should have never entered a marriage with one another. Sinjin says that he didn't even want to come to America, and it's not his American dream. He doesn't have an American dream. And Tonya also didn't hold back by saying that Sinjin was basically a bum because he owed 2 months' rent when she met him. The conversation is going nowhere, and Sinjin is completely in the mindset of thinking, is Tonya the person that he wants to be married to, or if she even brings the best out in him? Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Colt and Debbie. So when Debbie said that she was sitting down having quality time with Colt, like they don't flip and live together, Debbie, come on now. Debbie misses Colt even when they're in the same flipping room, in the same house. Doggone shame. So in this scene, they go out for custard ice cream, and she takes the time to be extra nosy, as always, about his business, about his relationship with Jess. So she calls his relationship with Jess a rebound in desperation. Debbie can't even finish her ice cream with the talk of her son giving his relationship another chance. So Colt throws another curveball on us. Now, he says that when they returned from Brazil, that Debbie invited Vanessa to come stay with them. So now Vanessa is now his roommate. Now, you tell me, why on earth would he invite Jess to Vegas to stay in this home, knowing that she doesn't like Vanessa and that was just an issue before he left Brazil? I'm convinced that he is only using this relationship with Jess for this season, but really is in a relationship with Vanessa. And the reason he picked Jess is because she is Brazilian and it would be a good storyline for the show. He's definitely using Jess. I'm convinced. I am so convinced. And he's really in a relationship with Vanessa. So comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Andrei and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is going to a traditional Moldovan boutique so that she can get a dress for the first part of their ceremony. She's wearing the Moldovan traditional dress for the first part of the ceremony, and then the dress that she picked out when they were in Florida for the second part of the ceremony. So Jen, which is her sister, doesn't hold back, saying that the outfits look a little like Little House on the Prairie. It's obvious that she has no filter and doesn't care who she offends. And she then starts talking junk and fish for information from Andrei's sister-in-law. What makes it worse is they involved a complete stranger who also worked at the boutique, all while Elizabeth was in the fitting room. Now, Andrei's sister-in-law says that her and Andrei have had some misunderstandings before, and adds that it's been 2 years, but it seems like Andrei is still the same, maybe even worse. She tells Libby's mom and sister that she doesn't know what Elizabeth sees in him or how she lives with him. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Larissa and Eric. So Larissa and Eric talk about the plastic surgery that she wants, and Larissa is under the assumption that this will make Eric want to be with her and even put a ring on her finger. Definitely the wrong reason to be getting surgery. And let me just say how over I am these two. They're talking about this plastic surgery in every scene on this episode, just in different locations and wearing different clothes. Boring. B-O-R-I-N-G. Boring. And I'm over it. So let's move on to Angela and Michael. Angela invites a translator to come over to their apartment. And Angela tells her that she hired her because she has trouble communicating with Michael's mother. And in so many words, she's just like, she doesn't trust Michael to do the translating. So Angela's rude behind says to the girl, look at me, don't look at Michael, because you keep looking at him and you're here for me. I didn't even see the girl looking at Michael. So I don't know what the heck is wrong with her. She is so insecure, like, dang, Angela, like, dang, girl. So Michael's mom arrives and Angela gets started The translator translates initially, but then the brother takes over and does the translating to his mother. He lets her know that Angela wants the relationship to be 50-50, but that would be a lie because if things don't go Angela's way, or she doesn't have complete control, she isn't having it. His mother tells the camera crew that the man is the head of the home and wife. When they want to know if she will support an equal marriage, she addresses Michael saying, does he agree with this way? And when he says yes, she says that she is okay with it being equal rights as long as they are respecting one another. But I bet she wouldn't agree if she knew how Angela really treated her son. So Angela tells the translator that she can leave because she wants to discuss a private family matter. Now, once the young lady leaves, she tells his mother that she may not be able to give Michael a baby, and his mother still approves of the wedding. Okay, so she also is agreeing because she doesn't know the real Angela. Angela is a wolf dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. Nothing sweet and kind about her. Comment down below your thoughts, and let's move on to Kalani and Oswellu. So Kalani gets back home to inform her husband on the meeting with his sister and his mom on how that went. And Kalani says that she feels sorry for Asuelu, but doesn't want anything to do with his family anymore. She runs down the conversation at first, and Asuelu was in agreement with his wife and says that it was bad what they said and it makes him mad, right? So listen, this is where I take back everything I said in my last recap. You know, when I was praising Asuelu for being mature, I take it back. And you want to know why I take it back? It's because in this scene, he tells the camera crew that he's surprised about what his family said to Kalani, and he wonders if Kalani just misunderstood what his mom and sister said. So Kalani tells him that he doesn't need to have a relationship with his family because they are butt heads. Now, she says the other word, but I'm just going to keep it clean because I always do up here. So she said that they are butt heads, and Asuelu is like, why? And tells her not to call them that. Asuelu wants to wait things out with his family until they understand the situation. And then he wants to know how things ended at the end of this meeting that she had with his family. Kalani says that she walked away and that his sister tried to fight her. Asuelu was like, you think you can knock her out? And Kalani says, do I think that, or is that what I would do? Because she was like, yeah, and I would do that. So Asuelu's mind is that of his son Oliver's. And Oliver is what, 2 or 3 years old? The maturity level is extremely low, and it's super frustrating to me to sit and watch. So imagine being Kalani in this situation. He wants to go back and forth about who would knock who out. And the point is that when Kalani turned her back, his sister tried to put her hands on her. I think that he's doing that to deflect off of the seriousness of this conversation. So things get heated between these two, and Asuelu is so disrespectful, calling her out of her name basically when she walked out of the door. And this was something that he said that he wouldn't do again. Remember, he told her father he wouldn't do that again. So now we see that he's still doing that. And I would have sent him, no, let me say this way. I would have left his tail right there with his family since he wants to kiss their behind and lap up or defend everything wrong that they do. He says that Kalani needs to control how she talks to him and his family. Kalani says at first she thought that Asuelu was on her team and it seemed as though, he was changing, but now she sees that that's not the case. She gets very emotional with her sister, and her sister tells her that she's too good for him and doesn't want to see her settle because of the kids. Her sister, Colini, gets emotional as well during this talk. And Kalani says that every day she feels as though she loves Asuelu less and less. She has a lot to think about, but I'd say send him back home. I'd never want my sons to take on his ways as a man. They have a strong grandfather, and I feel like the grandfather can provide structure, discipline, and show them how to be strong men. Asuelu does not have that. He just doesn't have it. I have not seen him really grow or mature since he got on the show. I mean, he's still the same in my book from when he first came to America. Still very, it's like he's declining. It's not, no growth is taking place. Now, I don't live with this man. We're just seeing him on TV, you know, and it's being edited so you don't get to see the full scope. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know about this. I would send his tail right back home. I feel like he should definitely be defending his wife. Like he even said out his own mouth, I see now what Kalani was saying. My family's just using me for money. So he knows this, and he still goes and defends his family, and he wasn't even there for the conversation. But he can't even take his wife's word to know that she's telling the truth. So you know, who wants somebody like that that's wishy-washy? One minute you're standing up and being a man, and next minute you're going back to defending wrong. Nobody ain't got time for all of that. So I really need to hear your thoughts on this episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. This was season 5, episode 11. Again, the title of this episode is Public Displays of Contention. Comment down below your thoughts. I look forward to talking to you in that comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up for me. Also share with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And I just want to tell you all, thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. If you've seen on the community page, I went ahead and made my reveal. And I just want to thank you all for the sweet comments, for wishing me happy birthday. I love you all so very much. I'm so grateful to you and all of your support of this channel. It really means so much to me. I had a little major setback with YouTube. They stopped my videos from being monetized for whatever reason. I don't really know, but I'm still moving forward. I still want to put this content out for you guys, regardless to if I am being paid or not, but I'm just so grateful. I just have to tell you all, thank you so much for your continuous support. Thank you for every like, every share, every comment. And I just look forward to putting more videos out. I hope that you guys enjoy or like how I kind of switched the videos up a little bit, because I felt like it was kind of time to do something new. And I also kind of make those pictures a little bit bigger for you guys so you guys can see each one of the couples. So comment down below. Let me know what you think about the new changes. And yeah, like I said, I always look forward to talking to you in that comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Peace.